Yeah.
And so, as a master artist, I've been doing art my whole life. My whole story was I was a child prodigy artist. So since the age of 5, I could draw proportionate animals. And my mom and dad fused the world of art education into me. And they had me trained by master's degree painters and illustrators from Art Center.
Wow. Hence the reason you're going to be at the Mayhem.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, that's so fantastic.
And what a lot of people don't realize with the stylization of how I make artwork is, so I was a commercial artist for over 25 years.
Yeah.
So I used to work for Disney, Warner Brothers, and Microsoft. And long story short, I made Microsoft over $1 million with one piece of artwork that I did.
Wow.
That sold for $1 a piece on Xbox Live.
Wow.
And what I decided to do was, since I was able to make a high-powered corporation that much money, I decided to become an independent artist. And so that's how the Master Artist was born.
Yeah.
So I became a fine artist, and I decided to create high-powered luxury lifestyle art pieces. And then also I wanted to get my art into a different target demographic, which was in Beverly Hills, Malibu, Pacific Palisades, around there.
Yeah, exactly.
Get my art into high-powered modern mansions and things like that. So that's how my venture as the Master Artist was created.
Oh, fantastic. So I have an idea for you, okay? So see this like Last Supper dinner that you have right here?
Yes.
You need to incorporate that with cannabis.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Have everybody like Jesus and everybody like just smoking away, like that would be amazing.
Definitely.
And I'll definitely take that one.
Hey, for sure, I gotta do that.
Yeah.
That's a must.
That's a must. Okay, so I couldn't believe what that smell was like when we opened up that door.
Really?
And I was like, whoo! Marijuana, like this is my kind of place. Oh, okay, we got this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know, but I ended up in the next place. It was longer than 15 minutes. So can you give me like 15 more minutes and then I'll be in the car and we can talk with him? Do you already have him on the phone? Okay, so just can you text him and make sure he's going to be available? And let's just say right now it's 12:30. Can you just tell him 1 o'clock? 1 o'clock. Okay, thanks, Sardar. Okay, bye. Is that awesome?
This is the future, right?
It is the future, and
it's got the filter and everything.
Exactly.
Just like a cigarette.
And you got my red lipstick on there, so sorry. You're gonna have like, hey, but you're an artist, right? So people wouldn't think it's crazy if you have red on.
Not at all.
Yeah. So, anyways, I figure we'll have a little smoke session before we go, and then I'm gonna have Kelly reach out to you too to talk about all the details and what's what and how we're gonna coordinate everything.
You know what? You and I need to actually sit down. We have actually a lot to talk about. There's actually so many ways that we could actually build together. Not just on the art side. Art side, that's limitless.
Yeah.
On the business end of it, I have some amazing connections.
Yeah.
That, honestly, if you and I were actually just like to partner up together.
Yeah.
Because I work with Michael Milken.
Michael Milken. Why does that sound familiar?
So have you heard of that name, Michael Milken?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So he's a high-powered billionaire, and his net worth is about $4 billion. And he runs something called the Milken Conference.
Okay.
Every single year at the Beverly Hilton Hotel.
Okay.
And long story short, the man makes, I believe he makes over $250 million annually just at the conference.
Really?
Yes. And all he does is, his whole network are all high-powered billionaires. So they all, every single ticket to get in there is like, I believe it's like $100,000 ticket.
Wow.
Just to attend. And and also he has like major high-powered sponsorships and things like that. So all the private jet companies, things like that. But this gentleman right here, what I've noticed, because I've been supporting and helping his foundation on the production side, because my best friend works and always does the production for his events. But I just found out he has a cannabis panel. He just started to create
this year's event?
2 years ago. So from 2 years ago was the first cannabis panel that he had.
Really?
And then me and my buddy were just like, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all like, we need the backing of these high-powered billionaires about cannabis. And then when I saw that, I said, you know what? That's what I'm going to talk to Michael about.
Yeah.
Right there, because Michael knows me because I did a portrait of him. Like a lot of people trip out on this story about how I met Michael Milken, which is like, okay, for me as an artist, that I always tell people, I'm the greatest artist of all time. I studied Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather's mentality has always been a part of my mind for like forever.
Yeah.
So Mayweather's known as TBE, the best ever. And one thing that I've followed and understood, because he's one of my marketing like masters that I really study, which was, it's all about having an unshakable mentality.
Yeah.
To where others cannot succumb you to fear or to thinking insecurity. Because if you feel as if you are the greatest at what you do, and you can't not just feel it, you have to, when you get to different levels of it, you have to know that you are.
Yeah.
And then you have to start proving things that other greats have never done.
Yeah.
And then so that was my mentality in art, and so I told myself, all I have to do is get my art to high-powered people.
Yeah.
That's it. Because I already know that I can revolutionize anything of what they do financially. They got all the finances.
Yeah, exactly.
They need someone who has that high-powered creativity.
Yep.
Who can actually utilize those finances and then leverage it to something amazing and incredible.
Yeah.
So that was the mentality of everything that I had to do. And I took my art to the Wealth, which was to Beverly Hills.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to Beverly Hills, a lot of people were like, how did you get an art gallery here right off of Rodeo Drive? And I was all like, all I had to do was show my art to these owners.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh yes, please,
yeah,
please bring it in our buildings, bring it in our mansions,
yeah,
bring it in our homes, like please, like. And I said, you know what, God blessed me with this.
Mm-hmm.
I have a God-given talent that I have to basically not just, I not only want to take it and elevate it on the most creative level and the most financial level, but I also want to inspire children. I'm going to do things for the next generation. That's the best way to do it. So that's why I went to meet Michael Milken. And I wanted it, and I drew Michael Milken's portrait the night before I met him.
Really?
Yes.
And then you just showed up with it?
This is what I did. I drew it like Leonardo da Vinci's stylization and mentality.
Wow.
So the way that Da Vinci draws is, like, Da Vinci will have to draw the hell out of your face before he even does anything else with it. Paints it, does anything. And those are Renaissance techniques that I follow as well. So that's why, like, a lot of my techniques of figurative art is all based on Renaissance techniques of me studying Da Vinci. And with him, so I drew his portrait. This is what happened, actually. I said, I had this pigmentation in my head that I said, I gotta meet Michael Milken, but I also had some fear in my head, and I was all like, I don't necessarily know the details of exactly how I'm gonna get to him. But I think, I know I gotta meet him. So I said, you know what, let me do this. Let me go show up 1 hour ahead of time in the morning, and I'm gonna pray. I'm just gonna put my hands together, and I'm gonna say, God, what should I do? I'm over here in front of Michael Milken's office right now. Please tell me what should I do? And God goes like this, Master Artist, you have already done the masterpiece.
Yeah.
All you have to do is show the art to the people, and the people will bring you to that man. And I was like, I thought to myself, I was like, oh my God, that's so true, right? It just humbled me, because I said, you're right, it's not about the status.
Yeah.
It's about showing the art to the people, and then I don't even have to ask to get to Michael Milken. Whoever I show it to is going to be like, we're taking you to that guy. He's here. This is his building. So when I pulled up to the building, the first person I met was the parking attendant. His name is Romero. Romero pulls up, and I roll the window down. I pulled up my little art piece. I said, have you seen this guy? Romero goes, that's the boss. I was like, he goes, did you do that? I was like, yeah, I did this. I created this. He's like, you drew that? I said, yeah. He's all, you are talented, man. He's all, but let me say this. You're not just talented. You are way beyond talented. And he's all like, here, you want me to get, my friend is Michael Milken's driver. They call me here. Whenever Michael comes into the office, I'm the first person that gets called.
Yeah, he's the first guy in the office.
First guy, because I have to clear out all the cars. And I said, that is cold right there. He's all, yes. He's all, you want me to give that to Michael? And I go like this. Hold on. God said I have to look at Michael Milken in his eyes. I have to hand it to Michael. You can take me to him. And he goes, I got you. Give me your number. He gave me my number. He says, Michael Milken will be here in an hour. Be ready. And I said, I got you.
Stop.
And mind you, people don't realize this. I volunteered my time for the Milken office.
Oh, very cool.
I just donated my time and I said, I'm here to just be here. God said, come here and you will meet Michael Milken. And I said, God is just telling me to do this.
Wow.
So that's the reason how I was able to get there. Romero calls me in an hour, and then he goes, Master Artist, I just told Michael Milken about your artwork, what you did, how amazing, talented you are. And he says, bring him up to the office.
Stop.
Yes.
Were you like, oh my gosh, everything you've been talking about.
I was tripping. I was like, and that's why I love Michael Milken, high-powered billionaire. You know why I love him so much? Because he is still tight with everyone that works for him, all the way down to the parking attendant.
Yeah.
All the way down to the janitor. Michael Milken, like, he knows everything. And I said, that is, like, I can't believe. And I said, you know what? That humbles so much.
Yeah.
That you see some people at the lowest totem pole, but making high-powered moves to get a master artist to a billionaire.
And there it is.
And I met Michael Milken, and this is the part that actually of the story that it trips people out, and it trips me out to this day. It's like God-given sent right here of this message.
Yeah.
When Romero brought me up to Michael Milken's office, we went all the way up to the top floor. When we get to the top floor, the elevator opens and we get into a room, and there's a gentleman standing there, very suited up, almost like a politician, and he has a gigantic bookcase behind him, and he's at a giant desk, and he says, hello, gentlemen. It is protocol for me to see what your business here. And then Romero goes, oh, this is the master artist downstairs. He brought a gift from Michael of his art. And then the gentleman goes, you know what? This is not the protocol of how to have a meeting with Michael. Michael is making multi-million-dollar deals right now.
Yeah.
He's making major moves. His time is invested too. He's all like, you guys have to follow the protocol. This is not allowed. Romero goes, and I know this is how people have to pay attention to this. It'll show you how far you can go in life. Romero stands up, even taller, and he goes, the boss told me to bring him up. And mind you, this is Michael Milken's assistant, and he goes, he starts to feel a little nervous, and he goes, okay, I'm going to bring you to another room. I'm not going to approve you guys yet, but we're going to go to the next room, and then we'll see if we can clear this. So he brings us to the next room, which is Michael Milken's secretary. And it's a gigantic room, and she's at a tall desk. It almost looks like you're in, like, the Supreme Court. Like a tall desk.
Yeah.
And she's the judge. And there's a big gigantic door like right behind him, which is Michael's doors, and you're just like, and actually one of the doors was open, and I could see Michael from a distance. He's on the phone, and he has a gentleman inside having a meeting, and we're sitting there, and the moment that she sees us walk in the doors, she goes, absolutely not, no, what are you doing here? You know that anyone who steps through those doors has to get my approval. And you get my approval, then you're able to get to there.
Yeah.
And so she's so very clear with what she says. This is why I love God so much. So Romero, this is so inspirational. Mind you, he is the parking attendant in the Milken Institute. So he stands up to Michael Milken's secretary, even taller, and says, the boss told me to bring the master artist through and give him this artwork. and she's all like looking at him like, no, Michael has to tell me to approve you, but no, he didn't tell me.
Yeah.
So Romero goes, he looks at me and he goes, and I'm looking at him, and mind you, I didn't say one word the whole time. I'm just like, wow, this is like epic drama getting to Michael Milken right now. And I said, but you know what? This guy Romero, is an angel right now. I said, he's doing anything it takes. He's being relentless.
Yeah.
And then he said, he looks and he sees the door open. He goes, Michael! He's so gangster with it. Michael, how you doing? I brought the master artist. He's got the artwork. And then Michael's like this on the phone. Hangs up the phone. Come on in.
Yeah.
And then, the secretary and the assistant, they're looking at us like, shaking their heads at us. Yeah. And we're looking at them like, yep, we got it. It was all, you can't stop us.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't stop us to get to that man. I was all like, I got my art.
This is crazy.
I drew this like, I looked at them, I drew this like Leonardo da Vinci did.
Yeah.
I was all like, you a secretary, you assistant, you keeping like epic legendary art from that billionaire. And like, I can create that billionaire's mentality, his financial, like, anything he wants to innovate in this world into a reality.
Yeah.
And he has all the finances, so that's the man whose life I have to change.
Yeah.
And I walked in there, and the man was like, he had his arms open,
like embracing
like, that art.
Give it to me.
And he saw it, and then he turned it around, and it's so funny. When I draw portraits of people get it's such a portraits. I love doing portraits because it's so intimate.
Yeah, it's one-on-one,
and it draws out people's insecurities.
Mm-hmm.
And people, like, a lot of times they're like, do I really look like that? You know, and they look at like certain things like, do I really got a big forehead? Is my nose that big?
Yeah.
Or, you know, they start to look at their features, and then it brings out those insecurities. But then, like, for me, and people were telling me, did you draw him bald? Because he's really bald. He has no hair. And I said, you asked me if I drew him bald. I was all like, I drew the soul out of that man. How you actually figuratively see him.
Yeah.
In reality, high-powered reality. And then, so to me, I was all like, when he sees it, look, he's not gonna look at the insecurity of it. It's all like,
yeah.
Art always brings out an insecure comment when you do portraits all the time, because it'll bring the insecurity. Some people are like, oh, you drew him bald, he's gonna feel really like weird about that.
Yeah.
But he's not that. Those people aren't looking on the flip side and saying, oh my God, that's me. And that's mainly what I want to convey in people. Yeah. And you know what? And that's why. For me, when Michael Milken saw it, he embraced it, and he said, can you teach me how to draw? And I said, Michael, let me tell you this. I'm a master artist. I've been doing art my entire life. I'm the best of the best at drawing. I teach 5-year-old kids how to draw. I teach high school kids how to draw. Mm-hmm. I even teach adults how to draw.
Yeah.
I said, I can teach you anything about art, and I can make all of your imagination into a reality. And he goes, wow. And the gentleman who was sitting next to him and having a meeting with him, he goes, excuse me, can you teach my children how to draw? And I looked at him and I said, in my mind it said, high-powered billionaire and his children, they want a master artist to teach his family. I said, absolutely. Yeah. I told you, 5-year-old kids, high school kids, all the way to adults.
Yeah.
I teach that. And a lot of people don't realize this is I started something called art therapy. Because art is to help save people's lives.
Yeah.